Welcome everybody to my, well, I guess I'll call it a Let's Explain for Mortal Kombat 9. This is one of my favorite ever games because, partly due to nostalgia, I played a great deal of MK Trilogy when I was growing up, far too much in fact, and this I really like to think of as a sort of HD update, if you will, of MK Trilogy because it has a lot of the same characters, but with a lot better rules. The fighting engine is much more complicated because you can do more things with it. It has a super meter, so it's really tournament viable, which makes it a lot more interesting to me. There's a lot of dead people. If you want to know who's who here, because this really is a who's who of Mortal Kombat, then go on to Game FAQs, where somebody with much less of a life than me has gone into great painstaking detail describing not only the owner of the various corpses, but in fact the owner of every piece of every person that is currently littering the war-torn desert landscape, which is very nice. I appreciate that. So what I'm going to try to do here is go through with every character in the story mode and use that as a way to explain to more beginner players who learn better by watching than by reading.
Rayden?
Shao Kahn's saying a bunch of really boring things that don't matter, so I can ignore him. And show you how to play each character. I wouldn't call myself a high-level player. I'd say I'm above average low or below average mid. But I understand the rules of the game, and at least in theory, how to play each character. I'm not very good with a lot of the more popular characters, which is part of the reason why I don't tournament.
They masquerade as dragons, but are mere toothless worms.
But EVO's taken Mortal Kombat off of their roster for this year, so it's no longer a tournament viable game. So I feel like I'm sort of at where I want to be with this game. I don't feel the need to go any further with it. So as sort of a farewell, not that I'll keep playing it, but I need to concentrate on other games. But I want to sort of wrap up my experience with this game by doing a video series where I explain and show off, if I can, how each character is supposed to be played so that you can decide which characters suit your playstyle better so you can figure out who you want to learn. Because this game is very based upon figuring out what your opponent is going to do and then do the other thing, or your offense is often based on forming a pattern and then breaking it.
Must win.
Those are the super useful, awesome, helpful advice words that our dear, dear friend, guardian, Lord Rayden, has sent back into the past to help himself with, because as you saw there, everybody in Mortal Kombat is dead, and in fact has died multiple times according to the official storyline. So that's a bit of a problem from a storytelling perspective, because it's like, I avenged my family and clan, I killed the dude who is now alive again, and nobody cares.
Strange visions.
People don't really care that much about the characters if that's just the way you're going to write stuff. So they rebooted the series storyline, which in my mind is a very wise decision. And it also allows them to cash in on all the nostalgia on suckers like me who played MK to death in the 90s. So I appreciate that. We will be introduced to pretty much all of these people later on in the story, and I will sort of make fun of them, as is my style.
Combatants,
I think Shang Tsung is too young sounding at this point in the storyline. The voice actor is Sector, by the way.
Others were brought here
They're both the
by
same
chance.
Hey, beautiful.
Others were brought
Johnny
by
Cage.
pie.
Good for you.
What? Massive Strike? Citizen Cage?
Sonya is very
Ninja
improbable
Mine? None of those ring a bell?
in this
Kano.
iteration. I don't
Kano?
really... Her existence
in
as a
that
special or forces
You
agent.
participate in the most
find
important
questionable.
Mortal Kombat in history.
Since
This
the last
tournament,
one.
the 10th after 9 Outworld victories, will determine Earthrealm's fate.
That's...
If
You know, that's giving
defeat
us a lot of
all
leeway,
your
I think.
opponents, you will face one final challenge.
Goro?
Me.
Oh.
That old geezer's the final challenge? They might as well give me the belt right now.
Indeed.
They do have belts, right?
Shang's actually a pretty scary
How
character,
did you
but he takes so
appearances
much.
can be deceiving.
I can't play Shang for crap because
Our
I have to
first
chain his skull,
combatant
all of
will
his
be
fireballs,
Mr.
and they go all in
Cage.
different directions, and it's wild and crazy and fun. But I can't. I can't do it.
That's right. That's right. Who's it gonna be?
Reptile.
It's going to be Reptile. So I'm playing on expert because I'm not a pussy, but I'm pretty sure that the first thingy, first match is not
Who's your agent?
on expert.
Begin.
So I'm going to use this to sort of show off
right.
the very basics
Showtime.
of the system, if I can, very quickly.
Round
So I'm going to lose probably the first
fight.
round of showing stuff off. So movement, walk, duck, jump, block. You need a button specifically to block. That's down up, which is an uppercut attack. Uppercuts always do 12%. That's a throw. Throws also do 12%. You can't block throws, but you can tech them by holding down low. Yeah, I did not tech that well. I can't remember exactly how it works, but you're supposed to be able to do throw, and then so if you block a throw, you tech a throw by, if it's a back throw, then you press 1-3, and it's 2 and 4 if it's a forward throw, which you can do a back throw by pressing throw, or just back end throw, and the forward throw is of course forward end throw. So down 2 is the uppercut move, which is a very good crowd pleaser for the combat series because it does 12% and it just sends them flying across the screen. But it's not really good to use a lot in general because if you're going to do combos and stuff, it sends you flying away and it resets the situation because you're dead. Not very good advantage after pretty much all the uppercuts. But Johnny Cage's uppercut is actually pretty good because it is 7 frames. It comes out really fast, so that makes it pretty useful for an anti-air. I shouldn't be using it as much as I am though because Reptile is very based on zoning, using his projectiles as you see there. This is the stupidest fight ever. I can see everybody. So he enhanced his fireball thingy there. That's why it was so big that time around. We can spend 1 bar, and we're back. A reminder to all you kiddies just starting out doing video recording on the internet: check your hard drive space before you begin. Always valuable. Anyway, as I was saying, super moves. Reptile just did an enhanced version of his elbow dash there that did a great deal more damage than it would otherwise. You can do enhanced pretty much any of your super moves, like that one for example. Let me see if I can do it. Oh, not good. And which adds more damage or causes extra properties. For instance, armor. Armor will allow you to go straight through another person's attack, and you'll take the damage, but it will actually, you'll just go through it. That was not a great example of that. That should have been a great example of it, but wasn't, which is really annoying. That takes 1 bar of meter to add to X an attack. It takes 2 bars of meter to do what's called a combo breaker, which is you press a direction and then block while you're in the middle of getting comboed to death, and you will just smack him away, and it sort of resets you and starts everything over again, which can be really advantageous and stop you from taking a lot of damage that's no good. But it also will pretty much screw up a lot of your plans if you had a lot of use for that meter. You can also use what's called an X-ray attack. Come on. Oh, whatever. X-ray attack takes all 3 meters of the bar and does usually about 33%, but it varies. Scorpions does less. Jax's does way more, and so on. And what kind of attack they are can vary based on the player, because it can be like a dash move or just an uppercut. Johnny's X-ray is really weird. It's actually a counter hit. Oh, yes! Oh, baby! And you can combo out of it, but I did not do a very good job of it. As you see, it's very kind of a Hail Mary thing. It can very quickly change the... Wow, he's desperate. The course of a match. It's very fun. So a great thing to do in this game is jump, because if you hit, then it's okay for you, and if you get blocked, then it's okay because you can throw. You're still in a good position to do a throw. That's why it's usually a good idea to base your game around offense. Offense gets rewarded with openings. So that's the system in a nutshell. You gain meter 3 ways. You get hit by attacks, you perform special moves, and you have your moves blocked. So it's really dangerous to just sit there and let him block you, because you'll be building meter that gives you other options for things. And you see how the ability for me to go through, like, this doesn't work on the computer, obviously, but if I'm able to do that, then if you're playing against me, you should know, well, I shouldn't use this low force ball against him because he'll just armor through it and hit me. So as a result, if you're playing somebody who is intelligent, you can just sort of understand when you're playing, okay, he's not going to try and throw that force ball at me because he knows that I can punish him. He's going to try to do something else. So it gives you something else to watch out for. I should also mention the notation that I'm using. Nah, that did not work out for you at all. See, that's the downfall of an X-ray right there. When I say 1, 2, 3, and 4, those are the standard fighting game notations that they use in midway games. If you're on a PS3, 1 is square, 2 is triangle, 3 is X, 4 is circle. If you're on the Xbox, X is 1, Y is 2, A is 3, and X is 1. And I will shut up and die. So Johnny Cage is very rush down dependent. The way you're supposed to play him is basically like that. You want to get in close so that you can do at forward 3 is pretty much the move you want to be trying to land at most times. If you land a forward 3, your options are pretty much the sky's the limit, because you can just stand there. That's a good one at forward 3, 3 back, or you can do forward 3 nut punch. But that can be problematic for that reason. But you can also do just forward 3, 3 if you want. Up. That was a very bad use of an X-ray. He's also got this. Johnny Cage is not a great zoner, and Reptile is a pretty good zoner, so what I'm doing should not be working. But the computer's very stupid, so what you gonna do? For that reason, actually, that was a really bad trade. So that's another thing to keep in mind if you're familiar with fighting games. If you play a lot of Street Fighter and things like that, the projectiles do not cancel out; they trade. That is a huge difference when you're playing. For a lot of people, it takes a lot to get used to.
Fight.
But anyway, the point is you can also do forward 3, 2. And that can, like, you can't do it forever. You can pretty close. And so if you put him in that spot where he can do all of those things, it becomes very difficult to tell what you're going to do. Like, you can almost get away with button mashing in that case. It almost helps you, because if you're random about it, then it's very hard for them to do anything other than block. And that's death, because you can get chipped out very easily. And I need to not do that, because then I would have been able to armor through that acid spit and I would have won. But it didn't matter, because I won either way. So.
That's it. Oh yeah, I'm so pretty.